Yeah! Tell me how I'm doing now, my man. Appreciate you, my dog. Oh, my God. But I was doing this thing like a meme. I had done hit a button and cut my doggone sound off. But nonetheless, we are good now. Man, that's why I appreciate y'all. Salute to my dog, A-Dot in the building, man. Yeah, your Dallas Cowboys, unfortunately, man, we. They laid a fat one on Sunday. Had us all in our feelings, still in our feelings, because, despite the fact that it's been about 240, 250 days since the Green Bay situation, we are still scorched. We are still scarred. We are still butthurt. It's still fresh. The wound has not healed. And quite honestly, the wound will probably not heal until we witness this team have an elevated level of success in the playoffs. That's what it's all about. That's why we're here. That's the whole situation. Like, because we want this team right for the playoffs. But in order to get to the playoffs, you got to handle your business in the regular season first. You got to take this thing week by week, game by game, opponent by opponent. There's no way around it. And guess what? After the Cowboys did what they did on this past Sunday, you still have 15 games left. So there's a whole lot of season left. But guess what? Now you have put that bad film out there. I ain't even going to be before y'all on this evening. You put that bad film out there. This ain't a rant. You put that bad film out there. And guess what? Everybody who goes to look at that game is going to say, man, they can't stop a nosebleed. Them boys scored on their first 6 drives, y'all. That is damn near unheard of. To Eternal Dynasty's point, yes, it felt in a lot of instances like Green Bay all over. Trent Smith, what's good with you? Glad to have you tonight. It felt like Green Bay all over again. And it's like, damn. After what we went through in January, y'all gonna put us through this again already? And I'm hearing all of the goofy. Oh, it's the Shanahan coaching tree, man. Out of here with that. At the end of the day, man on man, hat on hat. That's what it's about. It's about the matchups. It's about beating the man in front of you. And when you look at our team top to bottom on Sunday, position to position, almost unanimously, their man beat our man, including the coach. So I'm sitting here wondering, for you to have gotten your ass handed to you the way and the fashion that you did on last year, this didn't happen down the road, week 13, week 14, the second week of the season. Like y'all supposed to be amped up. You're supposed to be hyped. You are still supposed to be trying to get that awful taste out of your mouth from last year. Every time a reporter interviewed them and they were talking about defense and physicality and getting big bodies and drafting players who were physically capable of rectifying the issue you had last year, everything was geared towards that. And what the hell did you put out there? The stakes were already high. It's your home opener. You are playing against a geographical rival. And I heard some people this week say, well, man, matter of fact, it was RJ. It was RJ on Shannon RJ on Monday morning. And they were talking about the aftermath after the game in the parking lot and on Collins and Randall Mill, all that good stuff, all the streets surrounding the stadium. And Saints fans poured out into the streets of Dallas, y'all, and they had a goddamn unpermitted victory parade on our ass. If that ain't a damn slap in the face, I don't know what is. Like, what more do you need? Like, I could imagine the players, you know how it is. If you've ever been to a Cowboys game, first of all, it's hard as hell to get up out of there. Like, even if you drove, it's difficult to get up out of there. It's a line leaving the parking lot wrapped around several corners. If you're trying to catch an Uber, good luck with that, because it's like you'll see them, but they're non-existent. Like, it's a figment of your imagination. Niecy, good to have you this evening. What's up, Miss Lady? So it takes a while to leave the stadium after the game. And I can imagine if you've ever been there and stuck around for it, the players leave out, in their, Sunday best. They getting into their nice vehicles. And I can imagine being one of the players on the Cowboys, getting in my whip, pissed off that we got our asses handed to us on a silver platter. And I'm trying to make the drive and get home and leave the stadium. But I can't because the goddamn Saints fan are throwing a damn parade. Like, bro, I would have been pissed. Them boys had tubas. RJ said, I don't know anybody who travels with tubas. You talking about New Orleans. They throw a parade just because it's Friday. Like, that's what they do. It's the culture. What they said on what was the movie? Drumline. It's a tuba thing, shawty. Yes, they had tubas. And not only were they blowing tubas, but they blew our ass out. Okay? There it is. Horrible. You have people who travel from all parts of the country, from different parts of the world. If they don't go to but one Cowboys game a season, and usually that's me, they try to either hit a marquee matchup with a division rival, or they make it their best effort to go to the home opener. Pause. Yeah. Y'all gonna keep me right. I appreciate y'all. They make it their business to go to the home opener. And you had people who spent their hard-earned money. They got violated at the airport with TSA. They paid a grip for the hotel. They paid another grip for a rental car. Or they paid a grip for the Uber. Because I'm pretty sure it was surging almost all weekend with all the folks that was down there. Them boys, exactly, Niecy. See, you understand the culture. Like, if y'all ever seen the Cosby Show, there's always a picture in the background of this family having a funeral procession with the umbrellas and the families trailing along, and you see instruments. It's called a death march. That's a tradition. It's part of the culture in New Orleans. They did the damn death march on us because they were telling us we killed y'all. And that's what they did. And they didn't kill us with cute X's and O's and formations and motions. They didn't kill us with that. They killed us with brute physicality. That's how they busted our ass. And after all the talk, all the lip service that has been provided the entire off season, oh, yeah, we're going to get more physical. Oh, yeah, we're going to set the edge. Oh, we actually got linebackers now. Ain't none of that meant the hill of damn beans on Sunday. Because what I saw on Sunday, your Dallas Cowboys was performing live. They were doing a liturgical dance to a New Orleans native, Juvenile. They was on a rodeo. They took our ass for a ride. They were knocking our defensive tackles 7 to 10 yards downfield. And all that did was back up the rest of the defense because your linebackers couldn't see nothing. Nothing. It was a mess in front of them. You depended on your weak-ass safeties to come up and make tackles. I'm sorry, we were actually dependent on our safeties. Too deep at that to actually cover a guy, to keep everything in front of them. And y'all saw it. Man, it was so ugly, man. That play Shaheed did when he just flat out ran past both of our safeties. He said, "You can't F with me." That's what it screamed. Malik Hooker, if you go back and look at that play, that bomb play, the man made 3 rights to go left. I'm going to say that again. He made 3 rights to go left. Shaheed hit him with a quick jab step to the right. Malik Hooker, instead of doing this, he did this to come back that way. Who does that? By the time he had turned around, Malik Hooker was looking at Shaheed's. He was looking at the back of his jersey. And Donovan Wilson was like, oh, shit, there you go. Oh, touchdown. Come on, y'all. Like, it was bad. It was bad. And then when they really got in the groove and they figured out your corners can't come up, your safeties can't come up, you ain't setting the edge, all of this stuff I'm saying is not by accident. So there are 6 reasons, y'all. 6 reasons. 6 reasons why your defense stuck it up last night. Because what you saw the New Orleans Saints, yeah, they were doing inside and outside zone and they were doing the crack toss or whatever. But as far as the offensive line is concerned, they were instituting what is known as a pin and pull run concept. It requires discipline, it requires proper alignment, and it requires effective techniques. We did none of that. The first thing you got to do to be able to stop that type of scheme is you got to maintain gap integrity. Explain to me, chat, how in the hell do you maintain gap integrity when you're getting pushed 5 to 7 yards off the ball? I'll wait. I will wait. Because that's what it boiled down to. How do you do that? I'm going to tell you what was disheartening. And I heard this from Mike McCarthy. And I heard this from Mike Zimmer. The Mikes. Mike squared, whatever you want to call it, because they look like some squares on Sunday. I heard both of those individuals say, we did not anticipate being in base package as much as we were on Sunday. How? My question is, how did you not anticipate that? Because if you look at the tape from the previous week against Carolina, 2 things stood out. Defense stood out and run game stood out. They ran the ball a lot against Carolina. They got up early and they never looked back. You go back to last year, running was an emphasis with this team. Matter of fact, a lot of people mistake the fact that they thought that the Saints were not a formidable opponent. But if you really go back and look, we actually were this close to playing them round 1 of the playoffs last year. But because of technicalities and tiebreakers, Green Bay got in and they didn't. 9-18. on the cusp of being in the playoffs. They retooled. They actually retooled. They didn't just say we were retooling. And based off of what y'all saw the previous week, you thought that they were not going to be effective or committed to running the ball. Shame on you, Mike McCarthy. Shame on you, Mike Zimmer. And guess what? You put that bad film out there, expect it from a lot more other opponents, because this is a copycat league. And once a team gets a blueprint on not just how to win against you, but on how to bust your ass, guess what? The rest of the league and the rest of the coordinators say, I want to implement that in our game plan when we play them. I'm telling you, it's coming. Like Prime told his team in the media when he first got to Colorado, I'm coming. They coming. Pause. It's going to happen unless you nip it in the bud. How can you do that? Maintaining gap integrity. The second thing you have to do is you have to be able to set a hard, firm edge. That was not consistent on Sunday. Not consistent at all. Not consistent at all. Because when you set that edge, if everybody maintains that gap and you set your edge, what you do, and that could be for one or two players. If you're playing a 4-3, it's your defensive end. You're playing a 3-4, it's your outside linebacker. Whatever it is, edge player, you have to be able to set that edge. Because what that does, ladies and gentlemen, is it gives you an opportunity to get help. Because where's your help? All of your help, all your homeboys are over on the inside. You get into a fight, cats act like they want to jump. Send them to the inside. Send them to your posse. Send them to your entourage. That's where your help is on the inside. So as long as you hold up that outside, that running back has the choice to make. He can just keep running until he run out of bounds, or if he's trying to actually get some yards, he's going to cut it back inside. And when he cuts it back inside, we got trouble. Because there's some defensive tackles and some linebackers breathing down my neck. But by not setting the edge and acting more like a matador than a defensive end, and you say, ole, there you go. Now you have given that individual free range to run how he wants to at that point. Because over here, on that outside, ain't nobody out there, dog. It might be a safety, or the receiver could have took your man downfield, and he might not even know it's a running play until the receiver breaks off and starts engaging in blocking motion. And guess what? At that point, now you out the picture. Because ultimately, your corner has supreme edge protection. Your Dallas Cowboys defense had us out there. They were out there looking like bald-head scalawags. No edges. They need that the black stuff in the jar. They need some of that edge control. That's what we need. Because it was non-existent. Third thing your team can do against that style of running, and it was non-existent, because this goes back to the first point. You go back and look at that film, you see guys getting pushed. You see guys with horrible pad level. And guess what? As a defensive lineman, it is imperative, y'all, that you get the correct pad level. Because I'm going to tell you like this, and this is how you remember. If you stand high, you're going to be looking at the sky. And that's what happened. I saw Osa get baptized. I saw our other defensive tackles at times in the game get baptized because their pad level was high and they ended up looking at the sky. They put them on their ass. See, because when you stand tall, when you stand high, you don't have any leverage. It's the reason why they say the lowest man wins. You're compact, lower center of gravity. Like, y'all ever play with blocks or Legos or whatever? It's hard to knock over a Lego set when it's only 2 Legos high. But if you stack it 13 Legos high and you hit that Lego set from the top, it topples over with ease. That's the same thing that happened to your defensive tackles on Sunday. High pad level. They say, down, sit, hut. Your defensive tackle stood straight up. That is horrible technique. Fourth thing. So you got high, you got knocked on your butt, but we got no penetration. That was your third point. No penetration. It was very rare that I saw a defensive lineman make it through and onto the other side of the offensive line. It was very rare. Because if you create penetration, now you have a direct line to your running back or whatever they got going on back there, and now you're causing disruption. You cause disruption, you cause the ball carrier to slow up, and guess what? That hard edge is set. You push him to your help, plays blown up. With just those 3. But it gets a little deeper than that. The techniques is what I talked about. Standing high, you end up looking at the sky. But another aspect of that was your secondary support. Where were they? See, by your defensive tackles having poor technique, standing high and looking at the sky, guess what? These linemen who were doing multiple variations of combo blocks, now guess what happens? So we done ganged up on this guy over here. We done knocked his ass out. Now we moving on to the next one. And you still have free blockers who are moving and progressing throughout your defense. Why? Because you didn't handle them at the first level. So guess what? Now they're up on the second level. Or if they don't get knocked on their ass, they've gotten pushed back so far to where they're in the linebackers. Now they're into the secondary level of defense. Now they're in that area. So if I'm a linebacker, which I was, and I got defensive tackles getting pushed up on me, or I'm trying to flow, or I'm trying to scrape to the running back, I'm getting tripped up and slowed down by a couple of big bodies in my vicinity because my defensive tackle done got his ass blown off the ball. That's what happened. So it makes their job that much harder because the front line of defense did not do what they were supposed to. I totally agree. I totally agree, Mr. David. I promise y'all, David, I said this early in the offseason. If y'all remember, at one point in time in this offseason, Mozzie Smith was hurt. It came out, right? But at that point, we had already lost Hankins and he had signed with Seattle. And then I'm like, okay, well, I knew they weren't going to draft another defensive tackle in the first round. And I kind of had a feeling that they were not going to be active early in free agency. So knowing all of that, not signing Jonathan Hankins was one of the most, if not the most egregious ball drop of the damn offseason. It was horrible. Mozzie still ain't ready. I don't know if he'll ever get ready. Osa is Osa. He shines more so in pass rush situations. He's a pretty blue-collar guy, okay? He is not going to knock your socks off. I don't think he'll get a gold jacket up in Canton, but he does a pretty decent bang-up job. But those defensive linemen that we lost in the course of this offseason, not only did it affect the depth, oh, and by the way, then Sam Williams gets out for the season. So it was just a snowball effect situation that has really depleted the effectiveness of your defensive line. Y'all, all this is off the top of the dome, by the way. I really don't have, like, real notes like that. I jotted a couple of things down, but this is stuff that has been pressing and burning on Amp's heart recently. Because at the end of the day, just like y'all, I want to see our team do better. I know we're better, but the thing is, we have to show not only to the world, but we have to show to ourselves we're better. Players, coaches, management, everybody involved has to take accountability for what it is that their part is in this whole thing. Because it takes all parts. To talk about hoisting the Lombardi Trophy, it takes all parts to be at a prime level of play. Everybody has to be on their game. Just like the channel says, always making plays. We need playmakers. And we had a lack of playmakers on Sunday. We scrambled and tried to get a couple of defensive linemen at the last minute toward in the training camp. But truth be told, those guys look like they don't even deserve to be on a football field at this point. It's unfortunate. Maybe once upon a time, old players who, used to be Max back in the day. Dog, ain't nobody checking for you. Go sit your old ass down somewhere. Like, for real, and that's what it looked like. And that's exactly what the New Orleans Saints did. They sat our old asses down somewhere. Linval Joseph, so disappointing. Jordan Phillips, so disappointing. Hell, and a lot of people might not want to admit it. And I this one here comes with a grain of salt, but Eric Kendricks, he didn't have a great game. Now, I grade him on a curve because he was dealing with all that mess from the defensive tackles pushing up on him. So I'll give him a slight pass. But outside of that, no excuses. I don't want to hear about the refs. I don't really want to hear about the offense. You can say some things about the offense, and Dak admitted, McCarthy admitted there are things they got to get better on. But typically in the NFL, it takes your offenses about 3 to 4 weeks to start hitting their season stride. Get the chemistry, understand the flow, understand your identity. Communication amongst players. It takes a couple of weeks for that to occur, y'all. But one thing that can hit and hit well out the gate is your defense. If y'all go back and look at last year, in a lot of instances, remember the offense had to retool some things around the bye week. But we looked so good in the first couple of weeks because your defense was making it very easy on your offense. Very easy. We were getting our hands on the ball, turnovers left and right, giving the offense more opportunities to go out and score more points. Offense capitalized. They returned the dividends. And I'm going to tell you something right here. When he is in, when he is on the roster, when he is healthy, Jake Ferguson hides the fact that we do not have a real number 2 wide receiver. Yes, I said it. I'm going to say it again. Jake Ferguson, when on the roster, when healthy, hides the fact that you do not have a solid number 2 receiver. Now, the excuse last year was we had to learn and figure out a place for Brandon Cooks in this offense. Toward the end of the year, you saw it. His involvement in the offense picked up. Him and Dak's chemistry picked up. He was looking good. Where was he? Where was he? Exactly, Mr. David. That's another thing that Ferguson did. He was helpful in the run game. Super helpful. Now, Brevin Spanford, he showed some promise because looking at the tape, I saw him take a gentleman on a ride, put him on his back. I said, oh, we need more of that. We need more of it. And I want to tell y'all something else. Another issue that I had with our offense, I'm going to get back to defense, is the style and the manner in which we ran. I am not a fan, y'all. I am not a fan, y'all. I am not a fan, y'all. I am not a fan of shotgun runs. I don't see the point. Sprinkle it in maybe every now and then. Yes, I know it's a pass. You know, people say it's a passing league, and a lot of quarterbacks are operating out of the shotgun so they could see the rush and analyze the defense versus being under center. But I will tell you this, and this is the physics aspect of things. When a running back is behind the quarterback and he's getting ready to take a handoff, he starts to run toward the quarterback and toward the line of scrimmage. So he's already jogging before he ever gets the ball. But in a shotgun run situation, your running back is aligned to either side of your quarterback. I get the ball, okay, now I start running. In a lot of instances, if your offensive line don't hold up their blocks or get efficient blocks and create some space for you, they up on you before you even get rolling. When you put that running back behind the quarterback, it's like he gets a head start. He gets a head of steam as he's approaching the line instead of trying to generate speed before he hits the line. That's the difference. And when you look at the tape, you will see the running backs actually look better in that style of running. They look better. Because guess what? In addition to that, your offensive line is blocking differently as well. They aren't doing the pass block, patty cake. They ain't doing that. It's I'm coming for you. I'm running towards you. I'm engaging you. I'm using my legs. It's easier to generate a push. It's everybody's trying to find the one little thing. The one thing, not the one little thing, the one thing, the one reason, the sole reason why we lost and got blown out the way we did. You're not going to find it. The fact of the matter is we were writing and taking notes without crossing our T's and without dotting our I's. It was the details, y'all. The details is why we got thumped. Technique is why we got thumped. Discipline is why we got thumped. Those are the reasons why we lost. Now, there is hope. A lot of people will say, and I understand they hurt and upset, they'll say, hey, the only way right now for us to stop the bleeding on this run defense deficiency, we just going to have to outscore the other team. It may be some truth to that. But by doing those little things, doing the little things that I just mentioned, gap integrity, Just hold what you got. Hold what's in front of you. Hold down what they say, hold down the fort. Hold. Your little area of real estate right there, that's what you take care of. 2, set the edge. It's just that simple. You want help? Push them to your help. Don't let them get around the corner. Don't let them escape. They think they're gonna hit us with a sneak lick and carry on. No. Now you done hit me with a sucker punch. Now I'm gonna bounce you back to my help. Back on the inside. D tackles. I need y'all to get some penetration. I need y'all to wreak havoc. I need y'all to get in that backfield and F stuff up. That's how you win. I need my linebackers to read, know what they're reading, see it, and react fast. That's the other thing. When you are playing against a team like that with that type of running scheme, especially with the pin and pull, you got to beat that man there. When you see it, y'all been playing football your whole lives, most of you. So when you see linebackers, when you see that tackle step back and go that way, the tackle is not running that way for no reason. He's running that way to provide assistance so he can gang up on your help, so that they can create leverage, provide some cushion for their running back. Because he know that help technically supposed to be coming. They say they got your back. They supposed to have your back. So they're anticipating that. So I'm going to go ahead and send my other homies on over up ahead of me to counteract your homies who supposed to be coming to have your back since you have set that edge. It all works together. Technique has got to be right. Your technique has to be sound. Because when it's not, if you have a brain fart, mental lapse, or you're fatigued, you're going to start cutting corners. You're going to start cheating. And guess what? Poor technique, it'll tell on your ass every time. Now, unless you're just super physically gifted and super athletic, yeah, you might be able to swing it a little bit. But players who are kind of up there in age and, as Law Nation would say, a little long in the tooth, you even look at players like Kobe Bryant. When he got older, yeah, okay, you're going to lose a step. You might not be as quick as you used to be. You can't run with the young whippersnappers like you used to. But when players get older, the smart ones, what they do is they lean on their intelligence and they lean on their technique because they have to compensate. They have to compensate for the lack of speed, for the lack of power, for the lack of agility. So now they're super cerebral with it. Their mind carries them in places that their body can't take them. That's what Joseph and Phillips are going to have to do. Their technique has got to be prime. Secondary, it's I'm not going to say I'm ready to hang it up on our safeties yet, or our starting safeties, but I want to see some of them young bulls get some shots. I want to see what they look like under the lights. Maybe in that regard, we may just need a fresh start or a spark of some sort. But from what I saw, those guys back there on Sunday, and they've been great for us. They play some good ball for us. But they look totally uninspired on Sunday. And they look lost. Communication is a key. Just like any good relationship, communication is key. We started off this chat. I was talking and didn't even know I wasn't being heard until my dog A-Dot came up in the chat. The first chat in the building. And he said, "Hey, my man, you got sound?" He communicated to me to let me know that he couldn't hear me. And so I made the necessary adjustments. That's what's got to happen on this team. Guys got to be able to communicate. Hey, you got him. It's you. I'm sending them your way. Hey, I got a receiver over here. I need some help. You got to talk to one another. Any good relationship requires great communication. And I saw a bunch of guys out there just playing their solo position, not talking, not communicating. We just, okay, I know what I'm supposed to do. It's a team sport. And it requires 11 individuals to be synchronized and working together in unison. Because what you saw on that other side of the ball, the Saints offense was working in unison. Now, guess what? We fell down. We done scraped up our knees. We done burnt up our hands. We done got bucked. But guess what? In just a few short days, you're going to have to get your ass back up on that horse. Because it don't get no easier. Because you are getting ready to face a very, very dangerous Baltimore Ravens team that is pissed off at the fact that they have started their season 0-2. Now, they could very well be 2-0. But they will be coming into this place behind me. You see it. AT&T Stadium. They coming into AT&T Stadium pissed off. Because if it wasn't for a toe and a penalty, they would be 2-0. For all practical purposes, your Kansas City Chiefs should be 0-2 right now. If we really talking. So the Ravens are coming in here 0-2, mad at the world, and mad at these silver spoon-fed Dallas Cowboys who are given every single thing. That team is backed into the corner. The type of fight you are going to get from them is going to be one of your toughest all seasons. I'm going to just go ahead and say that. And they're a physical team. And even in their 2 losses this year, 2 things that the Baltimore Ravens have done in each of those 2 losses, they have thrown for at least 230 yards and they have rushed for at least 150 yards in both of those games. Damn, you ran for at least $150 in 2 games and still lost? Yes. So guess what? That tells me they have a commitment. Not only do they use their running backs, their quarterback is super mobile. And if you're not disciplined, if you have poor gap integrity, if you don't set the edge, if you don't get penetration, if your linebackers don't read straight, if your technique is off, they might run for 2. That is the reality, folks. Because, you know, it's Tuesday. And as the thumbnail said, I tell the truth. That's right. Tell the truth Tuesday. And I know I'm telling the truth. But it don't matter if Amp tell the truth. It doesn't matter if Boss Cowboy tells the truth. It doesn't matter if Law Nation tells the truth. It doesn't matter if the OC tells the truth. Stargazer tells the truth. It don't matter if they tell the truth. It don't matter if Craven Cowboys tell the truth. It don't matter if Keystone tell the truth. It don't matter if Landlord tell the truth. It don't matter if Hitty tells the truth. It don't matter if West Coast tells the truth. It don't matter if Rome tells the truth. It don't matter if Mark Holm tells the truth. At the end of the day, the Dallas Cowboys have to tell the truth. You look at that thumbnail, you'll see a lot of objects. You see your players. You see a woman squinting on hands on her knees looking like, what's going on? You see Mike Zimmer just kind of looking like he don't have a clue. You see some trash bags as well. Yeah, on Tuesdays around here, we take out the trash. But there's also a picture of Michael Jackson, and he is looking at his reflection. He is looking in that mirror. And that's what your Dallas Cowboys organization is going to have to do. Your players, your coaches, management is going to have to look in the mirror, and they're going to have to say, is this who I am? Can I be better than this? That's what has to happen. Again, all of us can tell the truth. We can have all of the theories about what went wrong, etc., or whatever. But unless our team looks themselves in the mirror and tells the truth, there is no way we get better. There is no way we get better. You got to look at that man in the mirror. Because guess what? You can lie to everybody else. You can lie to the media. You can lie to your lady, although I don't recommend it. You can lie to your kids, your parents, your family. You can lie to the fans. You can lie to the groupies. The one person you can't lie to, that's yourself. Cowboys Nation, I appreciate y'all. If y'all have enjoyed this Tell the Truth episode from yours truly, go ahead and do your boy a solid. Hit the like, hit the share button, show your boy in the channel some love. And if you feel so moved, at the bottom right here, there's my Cash App. Go ahead and shoot your boy something. One way or another, I am always grateful. I am always appreciative, and I am always humble. I thank y'all for joining me this evening. As I told the truth on the Dallas Cowboys. Look, I do this because I want to see my team win. I want to see us successful. At the end of the season, I want to be able to shoot a bird and flick a bird to everybody who ever said something about my Dallas Cowboys. But guess what? None of that will be possible if we don't look ourselves in the mirror and address who we really are. Good, better, best. Never let it rest. Until your good becomes your better and your better becomes your best. Until next time, Cowboys Nation, y'all be blessed.